Hi, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of A Lot of You Have Been Asking. This episode is a little bit different because it's one, audio only. Two, I am coming at you live from LTK Con in Dallas, Texas. This is the Influencer Olympics of sorts. And I am so excited to be joined by my friend, my manager, Regan Haarala. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm like smiling from ear to ear right now. I'm so excited to be here.
It's so funny because we normally record, obviously, in like a podcast studio. When I tell you guys, this is like the most janky ass setup for a podcast. We're in my hotel room, surrounded by this glass table and just
one water bottle
in case either of us get a little thirsty or parched or just like, verklempt in some way, shape, or form.
Truly, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
I think we have to start off by how we met. Because how did we come to meet each other? I'm curious your interpretation of things.
So we came to get introduced. So I had been following you for like such a long time, was such a big fan. And the way that we operate, I guess, at our agency, just jumping right in.
Yeah.
We do a lot of recruiting, and we do a lot of recruiting from the top. So one of our, I guess you could call her leaders.
Yeah.
She was like, Regan, I have this person for you that I think that you would be a good match with. And I was like, oh, well, like, who is it? Because I'll tell you this, occasionally they'll say that, and then it's like, I don't know if
doesn't
it's the
even
best
end up
fit.
panning out, yeah.
But for this, she did not even get your last name out of her mouth before I was truly like, oh my God. And again, I know that we'll get into it later on, but with me I was previously a teacher and not being anywhere near the influencer world, my friend who was a teacher, we had been sending your reels back and forth
for funny.
Over a year. Like, it was like, oh my God, he's the funniest person I've ever met. So I literally was screaming, crying, throwing up, was like, he must be mine. So that was kind of, because I knew that you had already had management. So at that point in my career, I was like, what does that look like? Like, is there a transitional period, whatever? So yeah. And then we got set up with a meeting, and
I know, and the rest is history. That was like two years ago now. It's crazy. I feel like for those of you that are listening, like, managers in the influencer space are such an interesting topic. I feel like not many people outside of the industry understand the need for a manager.
Yeah.
But Regan has changed my life in so many ways.
And you changed mine, baby.
Insanely, just with everything that you do. I want to backtrack before we get into your management career.
Okay.
Tell me about you, your life story.
I'm like,
the abridged version, though, because we're yappers. We are certified yappers.
No, we are yappers. This episode would be 4 hours long. I have lived in Texas now for over just about 20 years. Mm-hmm. I actually moved here after... I used to live in Mississippi. I moved here after Hurricane Katrina. Mm-hmm. My dad had already had plans to move to Texas, but... or I guess the family, but because he was getting moved here by his job, but... Katrina sped that up because, when you don't have a home, you gotta find a new one, right?
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, no, literally that. So I've been in Texas for 20 years. So I really I claim Texas as home. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what else? I used to be a teacher actually before this job, which is a huge part of, I feel like, my identity and foundation and relationship building. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's huge. I'm like, what else? I have a dog named Lucy.
You do.
And she's the best.
Who we love. Regan and I get along on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Both having been teachers, both being dog moms, both working in this crazy industry.
Just twin flames, if you will.
No, honestly. Yeah. It was a match made in heaven. No, genuinely. I need to put that sound effect in there.
No, literally. Just us levitating.
Us levitating off the ground. Like I said earlier, we are here at LTK Con, and it's based in Dallas. It really is the Influencer Olympics. And I thought, who better to have on this week than my manager, who just helps organize all my chaos, all my craziness.
I love it.
What does an influencer's manager do, for those who might be wondering?
I think that's such...
It's a loaded question.
It's such a loaded question, because I will say this. I think that a good manager, and I think anyone that is a manager listening to this will agree, a good manager really tailors the experience based on what that talent needs. Mm-hmm. And again, that may be, it's obviously meeting regularly. At the very core of it, it's negotiating deals and making sure that you're always getting the best deal possible.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's managing those brand relationships and making sure that you're always at the forefront of their mind. So whether that's reaching out to them or putting you in rooms and opportunities that make sense for what I call it, you know, your North Star. And I call it like I invented that. Like your North Star is in what everyone knows what that means. But it's about really taking that and also, I mean, backwards planning, almost just like, hey, where do we need to have Hayden go? What do we need to have Hayden do? What are some things in some rooms that we can get him in so that he can really reach what he wants to do? So that's maybe specifically for I mean, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of like overarching what a good agent and manager would do for their clients. Yeah,
and I feel like you two are like, you are also my biggest cheerleader, which I think is so important.
I'm your biggest fan.
Having a manager is it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
I'll first and foremost say that. And it allows you to focus on other things. Like, there's so much that goes into this industry and the work of it, and the contracts, the negotiations, the brand relationship building is time consuming.
Yeah.
So doing that on your own and then also thinking about content on your own, that's kind of when I always say I needed a manager because I couldn't handle it on my own anymore. Is that like the most common thing that you get is like people want to focus on the content and have you focus on like the business side of things?
I think the short answer, yes.
Yeah.
I think that when you're getting a new client or when you're reaching out to a new client, recruiting a client that is coming from not having ever had management previously, I know, I'm like, vroom, vroom.
No, we're literally like by the balcony.
No, like we're on a racetrack.
No,
guys,
apparently.
So I gotta go. But no, I think when you're getting someone who has never had a manager previously and they're coming into this, 9 times out of 10, that's the reason.
Yeah.
The reason is, hey, I feel like I've hit my threshold. I have really big goals. I have really big dreams. I have really big aspirations. But I feel like I need help in managing all of this so that I can do what I do best. That's what, you know, as an agent, as a manager, like that's what we want to do. We want to take what we do best, which is that negotiation, brand build, like helping and building your brand and advising and all of those things, and then leaving the actual creation and the fun part to you guys.
Yeah.
And because originally and initially, like that's where you start. Like you don't start making all this money from brand deals. You start from your persona and from the brand and who you're creating, you know, as your online personality. That's where you start. And then from there, you know, we're able to help assist from there. So 9 times out of 10, it's that. Every once in a while you'll get clients that are like, hey, I'm doing well on my own, but I feel like an agency comes with more connections and access to rooms that I might not be able to access myself. So I'm looking to find, you know, I've had people that are even on the smaller end, they're like, hey, I'm looking for the best agency with the best access. Like truly that's what they're shopping for. So again, I mean, I really think it varies creator to creator, but 9 times out of 10 people are coming because they're like, hey, I'm a little overwhelmed. Like I really want to be a high achiever, but I'm not doing that and having to do everything right now.
That makes sense. I feel like that's like a good encapsulation of like why somebody would have a manager in the first place. Give me some of your like favorite influencers to follow right now. Like who are some of your creators? Because you're inundated in this industry. Like you eat, sleep, and breathe the influencer world.
I'm like, so my number one favorite creator is Hayden Cohen. Hayderz.
I'm like paying her to say this quite literally.
There's a gun to my head, guys. No, I it's hard because I feel like I have so many creators that I love right now. So for example, if I am biased because I feel like I like to call myself a momager because
you are my momager.
Right, my clients are like, I love them so much, like they are my family. So obviously I would always put them as number one. But if we're putting all of those biases aside, I love like Christina Kirkman.
Yes.
Absolutely love her energy. I think that she's like chaotic, but in the best way.
Absolutely.
Henry.
Oh my God, I love him.
No, such a slay.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I'm like trying to think like who else.
We were just talking about Bran, and like,
Michaela. Yeah. So a lot of those people that, especially Michaela, I think that as a businesswoman, she's incredibly inspiring. She makes me want to continue to hustle because I also know that her agent, her management team, like they're killing it. So it's like, hey, I almost want the industry secrets.
Yeah,
there.
right.
Like, what's the sauce? You know, like, because they just do she does such a great job.
Yeah.
So, and she's such a boss bitch. So I just absolutely love her.
No, I love her too. She's a fellow Boston girly.
Yeah.
I need to meet her.
Absolutely.
I need to.
And like, Michaela, I know you're listening.
Yeah, Michaela, if anyone has access to Michaela Noguera, like, please DM me because
We'll link.
we're meant to be friends. Like, I
Right.
just know it.
Absolutely.
We're
100%.
we're just cut from the same cloth.
I love that.
I want to talk to you about the reality of this industry versus
Okay.
the way it's perceived a little bit.
Right.
Because I think people look at content and influencing in general, and we're here at LTK Con, we're learning like a ton about like where this industry is going to go.
Yeah.
By 2027, it's projected to be like a $500 billion business, which is
Unreal.
insane, and it's only getting more crazy from here.
Yeah.
What is one thing you like realized upon entering the industry where you like had your come to Jesus moment, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is real?
You know, I think that the biggest thing about this industry, and you could say this really just about talent in general, whether it be sports, entertainment, music, all of those things, like, it is a 24-hour business.
Mm-hmm.
The people that you're running a brand deal with in Australia do not give a shit if it is 4 a.m. your time.
No,
they are going to
literally.
be reaching out.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest, like, oh, okay.
Adjustment.
Yeah, because it's like already time management, more so in my personal life, not as much professional. Like, that's something that I have to actively work on for myself and making sure that I'm being a productive human being while also leaving time for rest, which isn't a lot of time,
Yeah,
as we
you
know.
don't have much time for us.
I don't. That's why you go crazy. But no, I think that was really my biggest realization. But through different, like, I don't know if it be meditating, whatever it is for anyone. I mean, mine's not meditation. It's like an iced coffee in the morning. It's like my nice piece, right?
That is your piece.
Iced coffee on an empty stomach. We
Yeah.
love the cortisol spiking, but when it you have to find a way to find your piece because it is 24/7.
Yeah.
But in a way that offers some flexibility too. So I mean, I know I'm going to be working at night, so if I have to cut out a little bit earlier or take a longer lunch to take a client out, like, I'm not feeling like I'm drowning.
Yeah, exactly. And there's this industry, like, what is one thing that you think is the wrong perception? Like, is the wrong perception. Like, the masses think this industry is X, and you're like, I've learned it's not actually.
I think not even as much on the agent side, but more on the talent side. People think that this job is so easy.
Yeah.
They're like, I can just pick up a camera, whatever. And I will be honest with you, when influencers were emerging, more so in like the 2018, 2019 era of like the upcoming, whether it be the bloggers, whatever you want to call it, that period of time, like, I looked at that and I was like, oh, I can pick up a camera and talk to it and whatever. And notice how I didn't. But, you know, I can't even talk to my Snapchat story half the time. You know what I mean? Like, that is one thing that I wish people realized is it's almost like it took people seeing the amount of money and how lucrative this business is to really be like, oh, this is legit. Because there was a while, and even still, I feel like there was a stigma around, you know, oh, there's creators at this thing with celebrities. Like, who do they think they are? I'm like, who do they think they are? They're leading the industry right now. Alex Earl being everywhere, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, there's a reason she's on Dancing with the Stars.
Correct.
Like, 100%.
With like a Robert Irwin, who also is falling into the influencer category that comes from, you could call it a celebrity family. I mean, who doesn't know the Crocodile Hunter?
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those things that I wish people really realized, because I feel like creators need to get their flowers. And so that's why, as a manager, I like to give flowers. I think wholeheartedly, just in totality, I like to give people their flowers whenever I see it. If you see someone who's dressed cute, tell them they're cute.
I know, you are really good about that.
Well, because, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you know, because I literally, if I don't say anything, I'll walk away regretting, like, man, I like could have, you know, not even like I could have made someone's day, but like,
but it could have like been like the one spark of joy they had that day.
I know. Because when people tell me something, if they're like, oh, I like your hair, I like your whatever, like, it makes my whole,
You're like, oh, me?
I'm like, you can't tell me shit for the rest of the day. She said I was pretty. So, you know, those are things that, you know, I think is really important. But anyway, getting back to more creators, like, I really do wish people realized how hard you guys work to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, and I always say that the job is easy in the sense that it has flexibility.
Yes.
It's easy in the sense that I work for myself. It's not easy in the sense that you're also putting yourself out there to be... Nobody is supposed to get as much feedback as creators do.
And like, feedback is a nice way to put it.
Yeah, no. I'm very lucky. Like, my audience is not the type of people that are like in my DMs like you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid. And sometimes sometimes I need it. Sometimes I need
like,
to be told
humble
that.
Me, baby.
No, like genuinely humble me. But there are people that just like have this type of like keyboard warrior mentality, like where they are attacking creators online, where it is so easy to just like be anonymous behind the screen of your phone when you're
behind your gray little background and your user 5678.
No,
like,
genuinely.
What do you mean? Yeah.
So I think it's easy in the sense that like you build your own work schedule, you get what you give in this industry. Like if you're consistent and you post enough, you'll be rewarded by the platforms that you're posting on. But it's by no means is it a walk in the park.
No, and I think that people forget building a following, and they were even talking, to tie it back to LTK Con and takeaways, you know, even they kind of touched on this a little bit, and I'm a very firm believer in this. There is a difference between a following and a community. And it's like, when you have a community, you have people that stick by you through your ups and downs and lefts and rights and all of those things and changes and evolutions, and then you have people that just follow you because you have a viral video and then they unfollow, and so building that community, in my opinion, is much harder. People that stick around, people that are like truly rooting for you. Like that's the hard part. I feel so lucky because I do have that community. Like I get DMs all the time of people being like, oh my God, I remember when you were like single and like a whore, like living in the city, and now you've transitioned into this life in suburbia with like my dog and my fiance and things like that. And it's like people stay with you for years and see you change in so many different ways. And it's such a cool thing because the industry is also evolving in so many different ways every day. So there's something different. And which even keeps lately, me on my toes. I know. It's like a new platform. I'm like, y'all, we don't need another like Twitter and another form. Come on, like, what are we doing? But it's hard to keep up with. Constantly. What do you think is one of your favorite parts of being a manager, being working in this industry in general? Like, that is such a good question. And I have the same question every time, or the same answer, I should say, every time. It's the relationships. It is always, for me, I had a professor in college, every single day she would start and end the class with relationships matter. And I have legitimately carried that in my life, like throughout everything that I do. And whether it's relationships with your family, relationships with your friends, clients, whatever it may be, that is the most fun and important piece. Because it's like, when I see you win, when I see you getting to go to an event that you've been dying to go to, or hosting a red carpet, or, you know, doing all of these things and checking off, whether it be a bucket list, manifestation list, whatever you want to call it, that is when I'm like high. Like I'm like yes, give me more. No, literally. Like that absolutely is my favorite part. And just learning and getting to know how people tick, because every single person, they need, like the way that you are type A, right? You have your list, you have your dates, you know exactly what's going on. Not every single client is like that. Oh my God, I'm sure. I hope for their sake they're not like me. But no, I'm like, that's an amazing quality about you. And so it's just like me getting to learn that about you in almost like little puzzle pieces, really put together how we work and how we best work. Like that's what's fun to me, because it's problem solving at the end of the day, and not problems in that everything's negative, but problem solving in that, like, oh, you like communication to be this way, let's find a way we can adjust or meet in the middle on things like that. That's what I love. No day is ever the same, especially with me. No. With me and your text being like, okay, here's all the things I have to do. We're like sitting at LTK Con, I'm like blowing up his phone, I'm like, just don't check it right now. But, like, I'm just sending you a to-do list. Sorry. I'm so curious. I want to know your perspective about hold on, we need to cut this. I'm cutting this out. Editor. I need a drink of water. Please, get a sip of our shared water. No, literally. I love. Honestly, I might just keep it in here for fun. Why not? Yeah. Just take a little sip. Yum. Perfect. The reality and that's like life. A nice crisp Coke at the movie theater. I'm so curious about your perspective on where you see the industry going. Like, where do you see the influencer world? What do you see it turning into? That's a really good question. I think there are so many different things, and I feel like in the way that this industry is changing every day, my opinion of this changes every day. But even in seeing people at LTK Con and just and how people are interacting, and how LTK, coming soon, is rolling out all of these new things to kind of keep up with the demand and the asks of the consumer, it makes me think the industry, like, I think that there will finally be a more consistent base of people that are like, yeah, this is a real industry. This is legitimate. And I think I know I keep referencing her, but like, I think that Alex Earl, like, in doing, you know, commercial work and doing ads and doing Dancing with the Stars, and also, you know, having philanthropic efforts with how she fosters and volunteers with animals, which is, I mean, especially for us, like, I'm gonna love you for the rest of the time. Yeah, 100%. Miss China, if you're watching, we love you. But you know, I think those things, like, I really think that people are going to legitimize this as a true profession. Just as, I mean, when you look at kids these days, and kids, like, even being a teacher, like, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be, like, it's
my nephew.
Right.
He's like, I want to be a streamer. I'm like, okay.
I know. And it's like, but the thing is like, you know, oftentimes, especially sometimes, not just knocking them, but with an older generation, they're like, not a real job. And I'm like, I get it. I do understand. But at the same time, like, if people really knew, that's one thing that I will say was shocking about this industry. Truly how much money you can make. It's
my
insane.
God, yeah.
But what they're paying creators is just a fraction of what they may be paying to do a full production shoot in a commercial, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they're getting a loyal follow, like, or a loyal fan base. They're getting someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. They're not having to pay for production because you're taking care of that. Like,
smart.
All of those things. So, and getting back to your question that you had, I love to tangent.
No, I love it.
I think that there will be I think there will be more respect and legitimacy in terms of, like, you know, the things that you've worked for, and building a platform and building a true career. Like, this is a career.
Yeah. I think a lot of people for a minute thought it was just like a hot ticket item that, like, people were doing for just a moment. And who knows if this will be for, like, I will do this forever. You never know. But I think the industry will be here forever. I don't think it's ever going to go anywhere. I think it's here to stay.
I definitely think it's here to stay. And I'll say this. I think that it should be, like, a good management's goal is to help you build a career that is going to eventually be able to take you offline. So, and not take you offline in that I'm done posting videos, but it's like, it's less about posting brand ads and it's more
but just like sharing your life.
Yes. And it's sharing your life, and maybe you have a separate business, or you know, you're making investments in things. You have a company that you've started, like, whatever that looks like for that person. Like, you have this podcast as, like, a secondary, like, project for you, right? Like, this is another career. As a podcaster, you're also a content creator. Like, there's a lot of things going on there. But I don't know. I think that in helping build your brand, there should be thought into the future. Like, hey, where do I really want to go with this? Yeah. Because you don't want to have to be posting a Clorox ad for the rest of your life, you know, to get your coin. But if you do, there's, hey, respect.
No, like, hey, if Clorox wants to come knocking.
I'm like, come on, Lysol, Clorox, fight over him.
No, literally, I'll take any of them. Right? I use them all.
I know, I love it. With turkey.
Yeah, my baby. We miss our babies so much.
So much.
I also want to talk to you. I feel like I'm, like, jumping all over the place, but I just, like, this is how we chat.
This is how my brain works.
No, genuinely.
Yeah.
Being at an event like an LTK Con, what is it like? This, I called it the Influencer Olympics a couple times.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the constant networking of it all. I love it. And then I'm like, all right, I get to my room at the end of the night, and it's like a work conference.
It is.
And I think it looks super fun. It is super fun.
Yeah.
But it's also like, whoa.
It is whoa.
It's a lot of talking, and we're yapping even more doing this podcast now.
Yes. I'm like, we never shut up.
We bit off more than we could chew. Doing this in the middle of, like, meetings and whatnot.
I know, but why not? But I think, you know, coming to something like LTK Con, I'll say this, like, there is never a bad opportunity to connect with brands and not even just with brands, but just to connect with people, like people at the LTK team. They've been so good to you and in the past, and to so many other creators. And so it's like, why not come to something where you feel like you can really take something away from it? And I know that sounds very broad and generic, but I think that the way I operate, like, I'm a sponge. So when I come to something like this, I absorb the good, the bad, the ugly, and then I take that and I really sit with it, and I'm like, hey, what did I really take away that I feel like I can utilize day to day? And, you know, even in just the reminder of building a community, not just a following, like, that's something that I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm like lit back on fire to continue to remind my creators about that and what should continue to drive them every day.
I feel like this obviously looks a certain way to people online being at this LTK Con. Yeah. They're like, what are all these influencers, like, doing, and, like, what are they learning about? I'll say it's like, you have like, I'm thinking of like another convention that's like a huge convention like that, like a whole industry goes to. That's like basically what this is. Like managers and brands and influencers and agencies, like they're all here this week to like learn about the industry. So while it looks like the drinks are just flowing online, and they are.
They're there.
They're there.
Oh, they are there, honey.
I haven't been not drunk since I've been here. They're all flowing, but it's also like a huge networking opportunity, and I feel like that is important to mention as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that this just goes with this industry in totality. Like, everyone looks at this and they're like, it's so glamorous. Yeah. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And I will say this is the, like, even on the manager agent side, like, this is the coolest fucking job you can have. Like, in my opinion, like, from the excitement and the high, I keep calling it the high, but truly it's a high, like, in closing deals and negotiating, to building relationships with brands, to recruiting new talent, and then learning their personalities and building relationships with them. Like, everything in totality is so cool. And it looks so cool from the outside. Like, my friends are like, oh, your job's so cool. I'm like, but what people don't see, similarly to this, is just, again, like I said, it's 24/7.
Yeah.
It never turns off.
Yeah.
And so it's just something you have to keep in mind. So same thing with here. Like, it looks one way, and it is glam. The girls, if any of the girls from LTK Con are listening to this, you guys came for it. The fits
really
are insane.
did.
I'm like, Hayden,
I'm so
maybe the only
underdressed.
man here.
No, I'm like one of maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, but Hayden's also like the Pope here, in case anyone was wondering. I keep saying that, like, Pope Hayden the Third, like, literally that is him here. Like, every time he walks anywhere, it's like,
these are my girls.
Yeah, they are your girls, and I love that. And so
they all take it really well being spoofed, obviously. Like, they understand that, like, I am here to get intel. Right. I am here to like get material for future videos. 1,000%. And they're all like, oh, here's what you should do. Like, they're giving advice. Like, there is also just such community in like the influencer world. It doesn't feel very competitive. Like, there is enough room for everybody at the table. And I feel like a lot of people that listen to the podcast are interested because either they want to work in the managerial side of things, or they, you know, want to become a creator themselves, or they're just like nosy. Like, I'm just a nosy ass bitch. That's why us, we're nosy. We're gonna
be nosy as well.
We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
And that's correct.
And that's like how I started in this industry. I was like seeing how much money people were making, and I was like,
why not?
I need to do this and like flip it on its head. And now it's become like such a passion of mine. Yeah. Just like talking about the industry and being in it and whatnot. I'm so curious to get your perspective on, like, if somebody wants to break into this industry today, give them the roadmap to do it. Whether it be a creator, somebody on like the manager side of things, like, it is all networking at the end of the day.
It is all about who you know. And it's like, I hate to say that, because part of me wants to be like, yes, girl, you do it. And honestly, there are ways in. I'll be honest with you, like, my way into the industry honestly was that, though. It was about who you know. Because again, I was a 5th grade teacher. I loved it. Shout out Carroll Elementary. So
we love our teachers.
We love them. Yeah, nothing but appreciation, respect, and love for every teacher. Yep. Especially those teachers that absolutely love their jobs and that love children. Yes. We love them. Yes, little claps for them. Remind me what the question was. Do you see how I tangent?
What would your advice be if you wanted to get into this industry? Like, obviously knowing the right people. Yeah. Obviously being educated in like the influencer world, the space, like knowing the apps really well. Is there anything else that, like, if somebody wanted a job at your company, like, what would you be like, here's how to do it?
I think just definitely familiarizing yourself with not just creators, but like agencies, where agencies originated from, like really who they're pumping up, like who are the creators that are working with these agencies. Like, I think that is a big tell, because there are some agencies, they focus on maybe a little bit more of the affiliate side, and that's something that really drives their business. Yeah. So like, when you see a bunch of creators that focus on their affiliates, their links, their conversions, there are agencies that are specifically like, that is their number one goal, is to pump out creators like that. Then you have other creators on the other end that are more that sometimes, and not necessarily they couldn't be both, but you have some creators that are like more on like a celebrity level, or have more of a like a larger presence and more of a traditional media sense. So I don't know, I think just familiarizing yourself with the industry, and I think just like not giving up, because I do think that it is not always easy to break into this industry. Where I was going before I lost my brain was, again, my cousin and her husband started the company before, because we're Wasserman now, but we were acquired almost 2 years ago next month by Wasserman, and originally we were J1S, and my cousin and her husband, they started this business from the ground up. And it has shifted, changed, and morphed into something so amazing, but that's kind of, they really, I mean, again, I hate to say personality hire, but that's what it started as. It was like, hey, I think that you're good with people. I'm like, hey, I think I agree with that.
Yeah, so, honestly, if you want to get into this industry, just be a people person.
I'm telling you.
It's because you're talking to people all day.
Far. Yeah.
You are talking to, you're in so many group chats. You're talking to people all day.
Yeah.
So you have to, one, be a yapper.
Yes.
You two have to just be willing to be a people person. You also have to be willing to be a sponge.
Correct.
You also have to be willing to change, because this industry is
evolving,
forever changing.
Yeah.
Like, it's nonstop. I can't keep up.
And I'm not always a change person. Like, I really, like, even though I'm not necessarily routine, I'm like, I'm just, I don't even know what I am.
Yeah.
But you know, it's being familiar, or not familiar, it's being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because that's really what this is. It's like, oh, well, this person, this agency is doing this one way and it's working really well. We're doing it this way and it's not working. How can we morph where we can meet in the middle and it really makes sense for us to do, so that we're not just doing something everyone else is doing? Because you want to evolve, but you also don't want to evolve just like everyone else is. Like, you want to be a leader, like innovator, a thought leader, an innovator. Yeah, all of those things.
And I think people, too, don't necessarily understand like, part of this job is very corporate. It's like, it's just like a, not a stereotypical 9 to 5, obviously, because like you said, you're working around the clock, working like a dog.
Like a dog!
But
I'm tired of this, Grandpa!
No, literally. But it is, like, pretty corporate in the sense of, like, it has its structures and its ways and its workflows, and you kind of got to stick to that when it comes to scouting new talent, or, you know, being on social media and like finding new people. It's like, it's all sales and meetings and marketing and clients at the end of the day, too.
It's like all the things.
Yeah.
All the things.
Meshed
it's like
into one.
Yeah, like a teacher and like a finance bro and like marketing. It's like it really is everything kind of.
You have your degrees in many different things.
Right. Don't we love that? I'm well versed in maybe some of those things. So
I also want to know, obviously we're talking about like the glamorous side of the industry, but like what are some of the horror stories?
Oh my gosh.
And you don't have to get too into it, but obviously, like, sometimes personalities just don't jive.
Yeah, you know, I think at the end of the day, I'm like me with my diplomatic answer.
Okay, Miss America.
Right, I'm like, it's Miss Congeniality. You know, I think at the end of the day, like, this industry, when you're looking for a manager, do not be afraid. Like, it's like dating. And it's like, the reality is, it would be my number one happy thing if the first person that I dated ended up being the best person ever.
Yeah.
And we're married and we're together for the rest of time and they treat me well and we get along and all is rainbow sunshine. I just want to bake a cake full of rainbow. Yeah, it's like that, right? But that's just not reality.
Yeah,
and so I think not as much horror story, but I do think some lessons that I've learned both the hard way and I say hard way not necessarily because shit went sideways, but like lessons that I've learned the hard way, and that like there was a lot of work put into it and maybe it just still didn't work out, and that's okay. Like sometimes things just don't work out. Sometimes it's not benefiting one side or both sides, and benefiting in the way of like emotionally benefiting, revenue, mentally, like all of those things. And it's just really important to continue to check yourself, making sure that you're reaching your goals and that you're getting what you want. And that comes from a creator side too. Like, and if you go to your management and say, hey, these things aren't working and they're not willing to adjust, same thing as in a relationship. Like, hey, these things that you're doing are bothering me. If we're not able to come to a consensus and fix those things, it's time that we part ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way.
Divorce.
Done. Slap it. Right?
No, right?
But I'll say, like, I mean, if you really want to think horror stories, like, it truly is those things that's like in the middle of the night, you're getting a phone call and you're like, holy shit, what do you mean it's canceled? Like, it can't be canceled right now. Like, that's not a thing. Or what do you mean they never booked the flight for this creator and they're literally at the airport right now? What do you mean? Like, what do you literally mean? So I would say, like, those would be my horror stories, probably more on like the execution side and just like learning the industry, like getting started. Like
it's overwhelming.
I was like, holy shit. And
You're like, oh, this is real.
Oh no, like it's so real. And also like there was a man I can tell you this. There was a man, he was on the brand side, and this man was like on the phone screaming at me top of his lungs. I can't even remember exactly what happened, but because I've like blocked out.
I'll destroy him.
Right? Destroy. But he was like, "You're an incompetent fool," like at the top of his lungs. And I was like, all right, bet. So gotta go. Please don't call me back. So like that was a horror story, because then it was like a whole thing, and everyone in the office was like, obviously we're in like, it's not even cubicles, we're at desks.
No, literally.
Like, yeah, we heard this man screaming at you. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So that was actually horrible. I think I probably cried that day, but then I was like, nah, he sucks. Who cares?
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, I gotta bounce back.
Yeah, it was like not even a deal. Oh, I remember who it was with. I'll tell you after.
That's the other fun part about this industry is like, everybody knows everybody. Like,
it's so big, but it's actually so small.
Yeah, like even just being here at LTK Con, it's like you see people that work at brands, and then they were before that they were at another brand, or you see influencers that were signed with managers and now they're with a different manager.
Right.
What is one of your influencer icks? As someone that is so ingrained in this industry, you have to have a couple.
An influencer ick.
Like one of mine is like the crying.
online.
You know how I feel about that.
The crying online.
But also, like, I always say this when I share my influencer X with people, like, I love it for some people.
Yeah.
When you know it's
obvious for you.
When you know it's like, obviously they set up the camera, they got the right lighting, and then like they have the one single tear and like, the waterproof mascara. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
oh my God,
I can't deal with that. That is like, I see that and I'm like, all right, I know we wouldn't be friends.
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. I think that's definitely, not to just like steal your answer, I think that's definitely one of mine. And I think
you're just like a real person, so it's like you want it to be like, you're like a real, like you're a real ass bitch. You're like, I want things to be as authentic as possible.
Well, right. And
so when they're not, it bothers you.
Well, that, and it's like not anyone like at our agency that we represent, but like someone will tell me something that happened, and then said creator may come online and just tell a completely different story.
Yeah.
Now again, hey, listen, there's two sides to every story, but that piece of it, that gives me the ick, because I'm like, you're lying for views.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know that certain trigger words will increase that engagement, and they'll get people tuned in.
Yeah.
And like, now while that little manipulative piece is kind of part of this industry, is like finding a way to tell your story in an entertaining way.
Yeah.
Like stretching the truth and completely bold-faced lying, like that's the part where I'm like, ooh, like I'm like, why? How are you doing this? This is not real.
It gives me the ick for sure.
No, truly. But I think definitely the fake crying on the internet. I can think of one specific person where I was just like, I saw it recently and I was like, oh my God.
Like, no.
Sis,
please don't do this to me.
I can't do it.
Oh my God. This has been so fun having you on the podcast. I can't believe this is like happening right now. I can't believe we're just in my hotel room recording the pod.
I can't believe you're in Dallas.
And honestly, this was like an abridged version of the podcast, because like, you know, we don't have the full studio set up, you know, and we will get there when you do come to Boston next. We'll make,
oh my God,
we'll have a redo of this. This was just like a fun little catch up. I really wanted you guys to just meet Regan, because part of the behind the scenes of this whole industry is that like she is just genuinely like my right hand man. Like my mom is my left hand, you are my right hand.
And your mom's the best.
And together
too.
You help me just like hold the phone and like hold it together.
We are one human.
And I love this industry. I love you.
I love you.
Where can people follow you? How can people? No, come on. We're like plug it.
Plug it.
Obviously, Wasserman, my team, the best.
Yes. So yes, we're at Wasserman. You can follow us and follow all the talent fun at Wasserman Creators. And then me, I'm just at, I'm like terrible. I'm like just at Regan Haarala. If you can figure out how to spell Haarala, then you got it.
It'll be in the episode description.
Yeah, it's two A's, HAA, and I'm somewhere in there. So.
I'm still figuring out how to spell it. I misspell it every time.
Oh, that's okay. Everyone does.
Yeah.
And also everyone as of recently has been misspelling my first name too. So it's been a super fun experience.
Oh yes. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You guys can like, rate, subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Sorry, I've had a Hugo Spritz today. Subscribe to the podcast everywhere you get I know we need to go get one right now before another thing. Wherever you get podcasts. I'm gonna end this. I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and make sure you tune in to all of my stories from LTK Con, because there's gonna be a lot.
So many.
All right, love you guys.
Bye.